Welcome to the Ward FM briefings, where we look at real-world building incidences and the lessons they hold for facility and property managers. Today's stories ask one important question. What happens when something you're building depends on suddenly becomes unavailable? It may be municipal water. It may be a warehouse that supplies your tenants. It may be a waste contractor, a permit, or an important building system. Good facility management means finding these dependencies before they cause a shutdown. Our first story comes from Detroit in the United States. An oil recycling company has withdrawn its application to rebuild and reopen an industrial facility. The property was damaged by fire in June last year. During that fire, 1,000 gallons of oily water reportedly entered the street. A firefighter was also injured. The facility had a history of air quality violations and public complaints. The operator has now withdrawn its environmental permit application. A planned public hearing has also been cancelled. Demolition of the damaged facility is underway. Community groups say the opposition led to the decision. However, the operator had not confirmed its reason when the report was published. Facility and property managers, the lesson concerns high-risk tenants. Before allowing an oil, chemical, recycling, or industrial tenant onto a property, understand exactly the business they will do. What materials will be stored, where the waste will be kept, where do the drains lead, can fire, water, or chemical spill leave the property? What insurance does the tenant hold? Also check the tenant's past environmental and safety record. A tenant may be a good rent payer, but still creates a much larger risk for the property. The lease should give the landlord the right to inspect. It should also explain who will pay for cleanup, testing, and reinstatement. Our second story concerns updated building codes in Texas. Texas has adopted new mechanical and fuel gas codes. They take effect on the 1st of September this year. These codes affect systems such as ventilation, air conditioning, gas piping, and gas equipment. Updated mechanical code also deals with newer refrigerants. This matters because refrigerant technology is changing. Some new refrigerants have different safety and installation requirements. Facility managers should identify projects that will cross the new effective date. Do not assume that the replacement system can be simply installed in the same way as the old one. Ask the designer which code applies. Check the refrigerant. Check the ventilation. Check the equipment access and emergency arrangements. Keep the approved drawings, their certificates, and commissioning records. Changing building codes should enter the compliance register before it appears as a problem during an inspection. Our third story comes from South Africa. A major pipe burst has affected Rand Water's B4 pipeline. The burst happened early on Thursday morning. It reduced pumping the Palmiet booster station to about 70% of normal capacity. Palmiet supplies areas in Johannesburg, Tshwane, and Ekurhuleni. At the time of the update, the full damage and repair period were not known. This is directly relevant to shopping centers, offices, factory, and mixed-use properties. A building may have water tanks, but do you know how long the water will last? Do the pumps work? Will the water reach the upper floors? Does the tank supply toilets, cleaning, cooling towers, and food tenants? And is the fire water reserve completely separate? The facility manager should know the building's normal daily use. The team should also know the minimum amount required to keep critical operations running. Restaurants and healthcare tenants may need special arrangements. Cleaning and construction work may need to stop. If water tankers may be required, confirm where they will connect and whether the water is suitable for intended purposes. Do not wait until the taps are dry before testing the pumps. Our fourth story is also from South Africa. The government launched an electronic waste recycling pilot in Free State. Electronic waste is an important facility management issue. Commercial buildings regularly replace CCTV cameras, access control equipment, computers, routers, LED drivers, fire alarm components, plus, of course, batteries. These items should not be placed in normal refuse. Some equipment contains batteries or materials that need controlled recycling. Other equipment contains information. An old access control computer may contain employee records. A CCTV recorder may contain video. A router or building controller may still hold passwords and network details. Keep electronic waste in a secure dry area. Record what is being removed. Use a competent recycler. Obtain a certificate showing what was collected and where it went. Sensitive information should be erased or physically destroyed. An electronic item remains a controlled asset until both its waste risk and its information risk have been closed. A fifth story is a follow-up from Greater Noida in India. Earlier this week, 2 firefighters died and 3 were injured during a factory fire. A new investigation has now explained more about the structural collapse. Inspectors found that intense heat damaged the polyurethane foam roof, the steel trusses and beams, and the columns. The steel expanded when it became hot. It then contracted as it cooled. This caused stress, buckling, and loss of strength. A beam and part of a wall then collapsed. Investigators also found that smoke extraction was not adequate. Production has been stopped while several safety and structural checks are completed. The facility management lesson is clear. A building can remain dangerous after the main fire is under control. Cooling water and changing temperatures can cause more movement. Walls, beams, and roof sections may fail without warning. Nobody should return to collect stock or equipment until a competent person has assessed the structure. Smoke control systems must also be inspected and tested during normal operations. Their purpose is not only to make escape easier, they can also help remove heat and improve conditions for emergency teams. A final story comes from the Ukraine. Missile strikes destroyed or damaged warehouses, factories, and major retail distribution centers. Several large retailers lost buildings and stock. 6 employees of one food retailer were reportedly killed. Puma later estimated that about 12 million euros of stock had been lost at one logistics center. The war conditions are extreme. However, the business continuity lesson applies more widely. A flood, fire, earthquake, or structural collapse can also remove a warehouse in a single night. A company may have many shops, but only one main distribution center. If that warehouse is lost, the shops may remain open, but have nothing to sell. Facility and property managers should identify these single points of failure. Keep stock and asset records in another location. Identify alternative storage space. Confirm whether insurance covers stock and business interruption. Know which suppliers can send goods directly to the stores. Also check whether important IT and communication systems are located inside the same warehouse. And lastly, today's facility management tip is to test one missing supplier. Choose one important service. It could be water, electricity, generator fuel, waste removal, security monitoring, internet service, or your main warehouse. Ask how long the building can continue without it. Ask what must stop first. Then identify an alternative supplier and the person who may approve the change. Write the answer into the emergency plan. Today's stories show that a building does not operate alone. It depends on public infrastructure, contractors, regulators, tenants, technology, and supply chains. Good facility managers understand these connections. They prepare alternatives before one missing service stops the whole property. If you found this briefing useful, subscribe to the Ward FM update. Practical facility management guidance, training, and support. You can also visit our website at wardfm.com. Thanks for watching.